Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, and this is the morning, and I'm dealing with these situations. But the most important thing is to receive a message from the Spirit of love, and to share that with you. I was just thinking that it is really amazing how things work out. A brother who most people would consider, when I say most people, I'm talking about other people. In fact, they said at the funeral the other day that he was a brother that if you didn't know him, or the only way you would just truly love him is if you were a family, a friend, you grew up with him and stuff like that. That's how you would know him. And because you know him, you would love him. And to many of us, he's just another brother. To some, he's just a second-class citizen, lowlife. But it is amazing how he was separated from the rest of all of Minnesotans and Texans and chosen for situations such as this. When one of the most evil men on the police department of Minneapolis, Minnesota, made a choice that he was going to do something as evil could be. Now, did he intend to kill this brother? I have no idea. But I do know one thing, it didn't make him any difference if he did or didn't. And what happened? He did something I'm sure he never intended to do. And that was to take what he probably called a nobody and turn him into a somebody that will be remembered throughout eternity. He will be remembered in the rank with Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. I mean, you might say, well, what has he done that's no more important than these other guys who have been martyred? Well, it wasn't anything that he done that was more important. It's just what he was used for at a time when he was used to do it. And the viciousness that he was all under. It was an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, for the world to see evil. For the world to see all of the powers that rules the world as being just that kind of power that oppresses people and exploits people. And the pain and the suffering that these kinds of people go through here in America, it happens all over the globe. So you just can't say, this is America. No, this is in every country, under every system, every form of government is just like this. And so this is why it is such a romantic occasion. It's the world to see itself in the killing and slaughter of George Floyd. A young man, my friends. A young man who deserved life, just like you, just like me, just like everybody. But somebody decided to snuff it out. Well, God wants us to know, ladies and gentlemen, that that is wrong. And that it is happening because we are allowing a man to be God instead of God being God. We are allowing a man to shape our love from one another toward fear and obedience to him. And when I say him, I'm not just talking about Donald Trump, he's one of them, but I'm talking about systems that are designed by man to do exactly what it is doing, what they are doing, and will continue to do until we do something about it. Now, this death, this murder has given us an opportunity to see what's going on. But once it's one thing to be ignorant and don't know. You got an excuse. It's another thing to know and act like you stupid. You know what I mean? And so what I'm really trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, is that now that we know how power works, now that we know how people of color are treated, now that we know that the pain and suffering that others endure are created at our efforts to make sure we enjoy such and such. And now that we know that that is wrong, now that we know that is unrighteous, especially now that we know that it doesn't have to exist, now that we know that every need, want, and desire can be met, now that we know that every human being on earth can have food, clothing, and shelter unlimited for life. Now that we know that education, it can be available for everybody, unlimited and unrestricted. Now that we know that health care from the womb to the tomb. Now that we know that doing these things to one another offers and gives us peace and prosperity and freedom and joy of life and, my friends, the fulfillment of our dreams. Now that we know all of this is guaranteed to us by simply engaging ourselves in the process of creating and producing those goods, those services that we as Americans, we as people, we as human beings require. And we're doing it for one another, for life, for heavenliness on earth, not for money. We learn the trick of money. I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me this your time. I'll probably come back, but I don't want to make this too long, so I'm cutting it short here. Thank you once again. This is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.